Hey guys, tonight on the program, I'm just working on the graphic right now. I'm going to do a show about broken dialogue and cynical conspiracy theory. Basically, what inspired the show was an old song by the Guess Who. I don't know if you ever heard it. It's called Share the Land, and it's a song that talks about maybe they'll be there to shake your hand, maybe I'll be there to share the land that they'll be giving away when we all live together. And there's an old, I guess there's some dialogue about postmodernism from 1964 to 1980. There was something that, in 1980, they professed that there was something called the Aquarian conspiracy, where for 40 years we could probably brainwash a generation into accepting socialism without even blinking. And they would do so through songs and TV shows and movies and all that sort of thing. And so basically the product of political ideologies being suppressed and the idea of pushing a socialist agenda is something that people have been programmed to do since you look at radio, and radio has been the same now for about 40 some odd years. So a whole generation is listening to old classic rock songs. You're listening to, rap songs that basically talk badly about the police. I was thinking about this last year. They were saying that Baby It's Cold Outside was a rapey song, but now the number one song right now on the radio is WAP, which stands for Wet Ass Pussy, basically. And I'm thinking, yeah, okay. So this whole idea of gaslighting people into thinking that violence is not happening with the protests and all this other stuff. It's confusing because people are not seeing it because they're being programmed and responding to 40 years of programming. So the idea is the broken dialogue, the censorship, all this stuff is a product of the programming process. And people who consider themselves progressive are basically saying, well, I'm in on the new thing. I'm woke. No, they're not woke. They've just been awakening to their programming. So that's the idea of the show tonight. And so it's all about cancel culture. It's about how they're lying to us about COVID. There are a number of things I'm going to talk about tonight. It's all over the board, but still, I think people need to understand why we have the reaction we're having. It's a lot of these older, generations that were like some 15 million that were involved with the counterculture back in the 1960s are now old enough to be teachers and politicians and what have you. And that's why they're pushing this agenda. And the music helps. Everything helps along the line. John Lennon singing Imagine, all these things are still here. And I don't think people understand why they're reacting the way they're reacting. That's why we're having the riots. That's why we're having these things, because people are grabbing some sort of nostalgia that they look back in the 60s and they say, well, this is what my parents and grandparents did and it got things done. Why can't I do it? It's because it's actually being taken over by a group of people that are using it for evil. So it's kind of the idea of what I think Marilyn Ferguson talked about with the Aquarian conspiracy. There was also Hofstadter's book, actually something he wrote for Harper's Magazine back in the day, talking about the cancel culture before he was even the cancel culture. So we're just kind of play with that theme a little bit tonight, and we hope you join us tonight on Ground Zero. Remember, if you're listening to Ground Zero on the internet, you need to go to aftermath.fm. That's aftermath.fm. We start at 7 p.m. and we go till 10 p.m. Pacific time, and then of course there are recorded shows. But if you're going to the KXL.com app, you're not going to be able to pick us up at 7 o'clock because we are moving the show on KXL to a different time. And so we're doing it live, of course, from 7 to 9. But of course, due to the election debates and due to some things that may be coming down the road with regard to riots in the streets and those things, we decided that it would be best to have the show in its full entirety on a stream at aftermath.fm. Now, aftermath.fm is free. Aftermath.media, on the other hand, if you want the archive shows, they're $4.99 a month. Or you can get the library with all the videos and the news aggregators and the documents and all that stuff for $9.99 a month. And we're still urging people to sign up because we're watching things happening on the internet that certainly are going to play hob with your ability to express yourself. So please remember, aftermath.fm, that's aftermath.fm tonight. It's going to be now from now on if you're listening online. You can also go to TalkStreamLive.com where they're going to have a direct feed also from aftermath.fm. So remember, aftermath.fm is free. You can stream it tonight from 7 to 10 Pacific time. Aftermath.media is available to you for the archive shows at $4.99 a month or $9.99 with the library involved, with all the other good spoofs and everything you get. So be sure to check that out tonight. And that's tonight. It's from now until forever. It's aftermath.fm. Thank you.